Hi, Thales. Welcome to my podcast.
Hey Victor, thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor to be here. So finally,
Yeah.
the day came up.
Yes. Yeah, the day came up, so it was a promise I made
Yeah,
to you when I was in your show. I think it was like January or February. It was right at the beginning of mine, and at
yeah.
the time I left, I said, "Okay, in the summer I'm gonna have you there." But the thing is, there's no real summer in Ireland, so it's difficult to
Oh
fix a
no.
day.
Yeah, yesterday I went to Britas Bay with my partner, and when I drove for an hour. When I arrived there, it was cloudy, you know, and I felt like that when I had to wear a jacket in the beach, So
Yeah.
I was a little upset, but by the end of the day, the sun came up, so it was
Mm.
a good day anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Was it busy? Because was
It
weekend
was,
and
yeah,
I heard this
it was a
weekend very
little
busy.
bit, yeah, it
Mm.
was a little bit busy, yeah. A lot of
Mm.
families with children and stuff, yeah.
I haven't been there. Is it a sandy beach or is it rocky?
Yeah, it's a sandy beach. They have a parking space in the front. You pay €4 in there, and in the parking space they have bathrooms and some food trucks. Like you can
Hmm.
buy hamburgers and other kind of food.
What about the beer? Because that's also an important
I
part.
didn't get any beer. I was driving.
Ah, yes.
I just drank water.
Yeah, you cannot get it all. Yeah, yeah. How
Yeah.
do you deal with the summer here in Ireland as a man, not only from Brazil but from
Mhm.
Rio?
Yeah. Well, I think nowadays I already used to the weather, but like every year I feel the same, like a little bit sad because I like the sun. I like
Hmm.
a clean sky, blue sky. Go to the beach. Like I'm from Rio, as you said, and before I came to Ireland, like 7 years ago, I used to go to the beach like every weekend. Yeah, like I have some friends that they were living in on the beach, so we used to surf all together. Like, and then during the day and at the night we we went to some of them houses to make some barbecue, play some guitar, and like enjoy ourselves together with friends.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very different routine here. I think
Yeah,
we
it
need to make
is.
the most of the indoor life, and then
Mm-hmm.
when there is opportunity, which is kind of a pity because I think the nature in Ireland is amazing. The
Yeah,
green fields, the seaside. It's amazing. It's one of the most
yeah.
beautiful countries
Yeah,
in Europe, at
sunny.
least.
Yeah, in sunny. I say that in sunny days here, like the country is totally different. Like
Hmm.
the grass is greener,
Yeah.
like a different kind of green. And I remember I think it was 3 years ago. I did the Atlantic Wild
Hmm.
road with friends in the West Coast. Like in the first 2 days was sunny, and I saw beaches like paradise beaches. And with all of them was crowded with families. Amazing. Like I thought I was in another country, not in Ireland. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, yeah, it's that different. And talk about other countries. I think one thing that Irish people do a lot is traveling when they have time off, because I think it's
Mhm.
a way to cope with the weather. And I know you travel quite a lot, and you were just in Amsterdam, and I thought you were there dancing, but maybe you're
Nah,
just
nah.
watching. So how was it?
Was cool. I went to pick my girlfriends up because she was coming back from Brazil.
Mhm.
So I met her there. So we spent the day, and there was I think we were talking about a story that I made because there were some dancers like making a presentation on the street like to get some money. Like I used to do this in Rio, like not getting money, but like just I used to make some presentation with my dance group somewhere in some areas in Rio, which was fun. So I remember my back in the days,
Yeah, so you're a
but
bit
yeah, that's
nostalgic.
yeah. But we just spent a day in Amsterdam. It was nice. Like I was telling to my girlfriend, like sometimes it's good like to just make a 1 day trip to
Yep.
anywhere near like because Dublin like it's always a surprise. Like we cannot make kind of a plan, like
Yep.
for example tomorrow, let's make a plan like to go somewhere to a park, like to enjoy the day during the day. But everything can change. Like the weather
Yes.
changes quick. Like we say that we have the four seasons the same day.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Actually, my parents were here for a week. They just left yesterday back to
Mhm.
Portugal. It was funny because in the morning they
Mm.
always, as old people, they
Yeah,
went next to the window, say, "Oh, I have the feeling today is going to be nice. I have the feeling that today is going to be
yeah,
shit." And I said, "We don't know. Maybe the
yeah.
morning you can guess. The rest is unpredictable."
Yeah, that's why I love Portugal. The weather of Portugal, I think, is amazing. Like we have 365 days a year, and in Portugal, we have 300 days of sun
Mhm.
in Portugal. I spent the New Year's Eve in São João do Estoril,
Mhm.
In Cascais. I was feeling sad 1 week before I moved back. I came back to Dublin because I was feeling like I want to be here in this weather because in December here was kind of freezing. I
Yeah.
mean, and when I got there, I saw people like with how can I say like well diving in the beach, like enjoy
Yes.
themselves in the beach, you know.
But the water is very cold now in Cascais as well.
Even though but the sun was shining, you know. I didn't surf because I was my knee was
Mm.
injured. So yeah, just like walk with my dog in the at
Mm.
San Juan, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that your dog has a human name. It's
Yeah,
João, no? Jorge, Jorge, Jorge. Yeah,
Jorge.
yeah. Actually, my Brazilian friend from São Paulo, you're good friends from São Paulo.
Mhm.
I'm just
Yeah.
teasing. I know you're all friends in the end. He was
Yeah.
here, and he has a cat, and his name is Joãozinho. So
Oh, nice.
similar like yours. Yeah, like
I love people names in dogs. Like
why is that?
if
Why is that?
I don't know. Like I don't like the typical names that put the people say like Billy, Buddy. You
Yeah.
know, I don't like it. I just feel like because I think we have so much intimacy
Hmm.
with the dogs. You know, like sometimes I talk with George. I'm not speak.
Hmm.
I don't like to speak when I speak English. I say George, but sometimes I just talk with him like George, how are you? You love daddy, you know, kind of. And I talked with my partner. If we had a female dog, we're probably gonna call her Teresa. Yeah, because it's kind of a typical couple names in
Mm.
Brazil, like Jorge and Teresa. You know.
Well, then you have a lot of small dogs, in a pit. If it's a
Yeah.
typical group, you have like 5 or 7 in a
Mhm.
pit.
But if you have another male dog, we're gonna call Geraldo
Hmm.
or Antonio. We're still like in questioning which one we're gonna choose.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about your dancing trajectory. So you're just a watcher, but before
Yeah,
you're
I
actively
just
dancing.
watch. Yeah, I just watch it. Like my mom put me on the artist in a theater when I was young. Like my
Mm.
first play was with my mom in a church. So she introduced me to the artist life, I can say. But when I was in the high school, yeah, I was in the high school. I started dancing, doing cover of the American group boy bands and Sync and Backstreet Boys. So I was 15 years yeah I was 15 years old,
Mm.
and then like I started it's when I started my career as a dancer, which lasts till I was 25. Yeah, first I think it wasn't 25. It was 2015 when I kind of retired from dancing. But
Mm.
like I had a nice career because I worked with some famous singers from Brazil. You know, like I travel like almost the whole country. I also made some performances in the United States. So and on TV as well.
Mm.
So I had a good career. I'm proud of myself, like
Can we
to have.
find you on the internet if we
Yeah,
type
it
your
is. Yeah,
name?
you can find
Really?
it. You still can find it. Yeah, I can send you a link after that.
Yeah, yeah,
After
I'll be
here, yeah.
interested. Any famous name that I may
Naldo
know?
Benny, the
Hmm.
Naldo,
Ah, yes,
Naldo
yeah, yeah,
Benny.
yeah.
I was his dancer for almost 4 years. Yeah.
Mm. And how is like the artist life? Because some people say yes, it's very much bohemian and all this.
Yeah, it is. Uh it's nice because it's kind of a two-way road, you
Mm.
know, because it's nicer thing like you being known for a lot of people. Like a lot of people knows like, oh, you're now the dancer. You dance with that guy, and you don't pay to get into the parties.
Hmm.
You're always in the best place ever, like where everybody wants to be. But like it's tiring, because when everybody's partying, you are working.
Yeah.
And sometimes everybody's working, you are sleeping because you were like awake or during the night. Also, a period of rehearsal, like we already rehearsing and creating and like creating choreography and knowing more and learning new choreographies, like always traveling as well. Because I have a niece nowadays, she's 11 years old. But like I didn't see her first 2 years, because I was always traveling.
Hmm.
Like my dad was telling me like, oh, where are Thales now? I was in São Paulo. Another day I was in the Northeast, and the other day I was in the South. Like, so it's good and bad in
Yeah,
both ways.
maybe it's nice for a while, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like I felt like I really enjoy it because at the age of between 20 and 25,
Yeah.
I didn't have much money like to enjoy the best parties in Rio, you
Hmm.
know. And as a dancer of a big artist, like as I said, like you have the open doors for everywhere.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we would just say like, oh, I want to go to that party. Like, can you call someone? And just someone says like, oh, put the name in the list. So you just
Mm.
come there like, oh, I'm on the list of somebody, and just get in like for
Yeah.
VIP and VIP places. Like I most don't pay for drinks, don't pay for food. You just
Mm.
enjoy yourself to be just because you're a dancer of someone
Yeah, yeah.
big. Yeah.
I'd say it will take some time to get used to be just a regular person. Let's say, you go
Oh
back
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
normal life and like, oh, why do I need to pay for a drink? Why
Mm.
my name is not on the list? How was it for you to
Yeah.
get used
Oh,
to?
at that stage was like pretty cool because it was a thing that I wanted. I was kind of tired like
Mm.
of their life because kind of is a fantasy. What I mean is, people like is always cheering you. Not, I think not the one word, but people always say like, "Oh, you're pretty good. You're the best. You're blah,
Mm.
you're blah." I ask you for tickets, Oh, do you have the tickets for the party? You have the tickets for the show. But then when you get away from this kind of words, like nobody talk with you. You know,
Yeah,
you became nothing. You
yeah,
don't, you're not that famous anymore. You're not that requested person. But which was good. Before I entered their life, I used to listen like rocky music, like other kind of music instead of funky, of carioca
yeah.
funky. But I remember the day when I got into my car and I changed the radio station again back to the rock or other kind of music I used to listen, and it was kind of relief. I felt
Mm.
relief. Like, oh, it's amazing, like to listen to that music again because I always had to listen to that music. It wasn't a hype. It was more popular. We kind of don't like it.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
was part of my job.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I
You
get it. And
understand?
the other thing we were doing was theater other
Yeah,
than dancing.
yeah.
Yeah.
As I
How was it?
said, my first play was with my mom in a church.
Hmm?
And then when I was a teenager, she put me to do some tests. And then, yeah, and then I kind of started a bit of career. I became a part of a group of theater. We stay on, pardon, we stay on a theater for 1 month in a big theater in Rio. But kind of like live as an actor in Brazil is kind of is difficult if you are not famous. If you
Yes.
are not like you have to know a lot of people. You have to be your political
Mm.
environment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I always had another plan B. I never quit the university. I never quit school. And beside my life as an artist, I was like doing the college, like as I studied I have a technical degree in information technology. So that's now I am a software engineer today. And then in the college I studied business. So I'm a bachelor in business today. So
What a mix, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I kind of gave up of the technical. I didn't give up, But like when I was in the middle of the technical school, I felt like I don't want this. Like be a programmer was a kind of boring. But then I kind of person that if I start doing something, I'll go till the end, you know. And then when I finished the technical degree and started the college, in the middle of the college, I feel like I don't want this. But then at this stage, I got my internship as a programmer, and then all of the companies I worked as a programmer.
Yeah.
And then I'm a software engineer today, and I'm a and now I'm a happier person. You know, I love what I do. I love creating. I love coding. You know, and now I starting studying machine learning. So probably
Machine
gonna.
learning. I'm really not
Yeah, it's
really
kind
tech
of
tips. What
another
is it?
area. Yeah, it's another area of IT where you work with information, artificial intelligence.
Mm.
So kind of big thing that is an area
How do you
that's
see like
only
the
growing.
whole AI thing? Like, how do you see it? Do you think
I
it's a
see
big?
it's yeah, I see it's a new feature. You know, I don't
Mm.
think that AI will substitute a human, but a
Mm.
human using AI will substitute another human. Period.
Mm.
That's what I say. I think you know.
And how much our life will be changed by AI?
I don't know because I still like a newbie in this area. You know, I
Mm.
still like start using the features like we have on the internet, like ChatGPT, Gemini. You know, so I don't have like base to answer this question
Yeah.
precisely. You know.
Yeah, we all are guessing here, but is there like a prediction for robots? You know, this
Yeah.
going around because I remember like last year I was in Barcelona and I was in a restaurant and half of the waiters were robots. It was
Oh yeah, I
kind of
don't
nuts.
have I didn't have this experience yet. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
had.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like they come and they know exactly to whom to bring the food, and
Hmm.
even you can even pay. You can even pay. They give you
Hmm.
change. It was crazy.
I think just uh, the kind of work will change. Like the person who used to be a waiter, maybe he would be or she will be the maintenance. They're gonna be the
Mhm.
maintenance of the robot. Is
Yes.
gonna be the person that will fix the robot because the robot can't fix themselves,
Yeah.
but another human will fix it. You know,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Like in the supermarkets. Like I have a friend, actually, an Irish friend. He hates these cashiers when they go to Tesco, Audi,
Mhm.
and there are those cashiers automatic cashiers instead of people. And I tell them, look, it's not only cutting jobs because someone will look after the machines.
I think
I think you're frozen. I know you're back.
I don't know if it's my internet here. Can you hear me? Yeah,
You're
we're back.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
back.
I can hear you now. I
I
can
think
hear you
my
now.
internet sometimes break down.
It's the technology is not always on our side.
Yes, you see, you see.
Yes, yes, yeah. So I was just saying what this guy says, oh, but these machines are taking over the jobs. But I said what you just said to me. Like there are people who are developing those machines. There are
Yeah.
people who are looking after those machines, and
Hmm.
there are jobs created because of those machines. It's not only
Yes.
jobs gone; it's
Yeah.
jobs substitution.
But like a lot of job will remain forever. Like
Mm.
hairdressers, builders,
No robot
architectures.
looking after our hair.
Yeah, like how what can I say? Oh, ChatGPT built this building for me. No, build this house for me. No, we still need people.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know.
mean, there are even hookers who are robots these days. Not that I tried, just for the record.
Hmm.
I want to tell
Yeah.
people I never tried, but I saw it on the internet. Yeah. And
Hmm.
at least I understand the point of these men going to robots because the robot will never tell their wives. I think that's only positive thing if you go with a robot. You never knock your door. It's done. It's
Yeah.
done. I think that's
Yeah.
only positive thing. Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
talk about talking. Your show, your Tokiando,
Yeah.
it's just
Talking.
growing, man. Every time I check the number of subscribers, the engagement, it's just going up. Sponsors,
Hmm.
partnerships, man, you're just going up. So big
Yeah.
congrats.
Thank you very much. The secret of this is consistency. You know,
Mm,
like is just when as I said, when I start something, I go until the end, and talking. I think is gonna be It's a project that never ends. And yeah, I started this because I always wanted to create content for the internet. I think the internet is the future of the world. Is the future, and it was the past, is the present, and it will be the future.
Mm.
And the internet is kind of an era that has space for everyone. Everyone can be on the internet and make money on the internet. And yeah, like I think uh, everyone has a story that can motivate other people to make something different in their lives. Even though like if you want to like move to your country, for example, you're a Portuguese guy, like we talk about it in the podcast. Like a lot of people from Portugal remains in the country, like maybe of the economy, maybe because they don't know that they can go to other countries. But like when you see somebody like you, like a traveler, in the good way. I mean, like you travel to a lot of countries, like every
Yeah.
year, like I think every month you're in a different country, and you can motivate other people to have their life too, or just to leave their comfort zone to make something different, like to build a restaurant, or to write a book,
Yeah.
So having this in my mind and the hype of the podcast in Brazil in 2020 during the pandemic, like where people start watching more live streaming from their houses, and podcasts became a boom. Like, and I started listening to the more often podcasts like 7 years ago when I arrived in Ireland. I remember my first podcast that I used to listen was a name called Financast. I talk
Mm.
financials, financial and investments. And when these kind of podcasts, like we say, desk cast, where we have a table cast can say, when we have a
Mm.
table, two people looking at each other, and talking like for 1 hour, 2 hours, depends. Like for general, for any kind of about any kind of subject. So, and I like it. I like this kind of thing, And then it's me. I used to work in 2020. I used to work as a photographer in the nightclubs here in Ireland, and so I at this stage I knew a lot of people, some people, And then I
Yeah.
created a list of 10 names, and I asked each one of them like, oh, if I start a podcast, like, would you come to talk with me about like your life, your achievements? Everybody says
Of
yes.
course.
Everybody says yes. And then I just start buying my stuff, believe in a dream, buy for my own money. I still
Mm.
nowadays like invest for my own money, but even though having sponsor, but like some months we don't have it, other months we have a lot. So, and now, almost 4 years later, I have a team, me and Pupilinho, the one
Yeah.
you knew, and now we have Anna, the girl that makes the marketing and producing. So yeah, we grow in numbers, we grow in subscribers and followers, and it's
Yeah.
good.
No, you deserve it. I think one of the
Thank you
things
very
that's
much.
come across as let's say way better than the other guys out there is your energy. Is your energy.
Ah,
I think
yeah. It's
I
like when you do something, I think you agree with me. When you do something that you love
mm,
and you have fun of it, like you don't see it as a work, and you take
yeah.
seriously, you have to make it seriously. But yeah, I really enjoy, every week I'm new people, like yeah.
It's visible, and their energy is like contagious.
Hmm.
I could clearly see that. There are these people are like energy soakers or energy suckers,
Hmm.
and you are the opposite. You are like an energy transmitter, which
Oh
is
yeah.
great.
I,
And
I
many people did that. Many people need this kind of encouragement, kind of someone who is open and expanding himself,
Mhm.
extrovert in a very spontaneous way. So I think it's very positive.
I say that I'm a happy person.
Mm.
Since I was young, I was like this, like always smiling, always trying to make a good environment, Yeah, like I think I just born like this, I don't like to be sad. Sometimes
Mm.
I'm sad as I'm every person, but yeah, I think like the words is already push a like push a how can I say that? The word is already bad,
Yes.
for us. The life is hard. So let's make like at least 1 hour of our day happier, easier, or enjoyable. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
and I think you do that with the guest and with the
Mm.
people who are listening. I think most people will finish the episode with a lighter mood. So, and maybe they
Yeah.
have the
I,
inspiration they didn't have before, and they can start something themselves, or they can start
Mhm.
exploring. Maybe they won't pack and go, but they will start just researching that place you talked about. So you just like uh,
Mhm.
just show them the way. Maybe they don't
Mhm.
uh, start the journey, but at least they're already thinking that there's a door there, and they can go that way. I don't know, in the near future.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing you say is very true. I remember one of them, my guests, she asked me like, "Oh, why you do this? Like, what's your main goal? Like to do this? Like," and I say, by the end of this episode, you're gonna see. And
Mm,
when we finished the episode, she was like smiling, it's so
mm,
exciting. And I say like, you see, that's why I do it, like to make
mm.
you to see you like this, even though if you talked about a bad thing in the middle of the episode, but in some way, by the end of the episode, you're gonna leave here better than you came.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great victory. So let's say when the guest is a bit boring, and I hope it wasn't me, but let's say you have someone very boring. You don't need to tell who was that person. I hope it was not me. But how do
No,
you
no,
how do you
no.
deal with that? Because I mean, that
Like
can happen, but there's no
what
click.
yeah, what makes a guest boring is when they think that the podcast is an interview,
Mm,
but it's not. It's a conversation. You
yeah,
can ask me questions. It's not like it's not only me that the person that makes questions. Like, and they some of them like I for example I start some subject, general one, and then she talks for 1 2 minutes and then starts like this,
yeah, yeah,
where you need to ask another question, which is annoying, but like people are different.
yes,
We have people like that don't talk that much, but on the other hand, like we have a lot of people that really likes to talk, and then that makes my job easier. I say like, oh, the more you talk, the less I work.
yes, yeah, 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 exactly, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
like the people have to understand when you're invited to a podcast, like you're kind of invited to make content,
Mhm,
to the like to yeah to make content to the podcast. Like you are the star.
mhm,
I'm just a person like to try to get the best from you.
mhm.
You know. So yeah, when the guys understand that mechanism, so the conversation flows much better.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think like yourself and Felipe are doing a great job for the Brazilian community.
Thank
I
you.
was very happy to be on both podcasts. I think you are. I know there are a couple of other Brazilian podcasts here in Ireland, but I think we are far better than the others. I'm happy. I don't care. Just my opinion. That I, I don't mind much my words. I'm trying to be controversial. I am. So I'm just giving you a compliment. You are my favorite. Maybe okay. I know I was on your show, but this is my opinion. So
Thank
how
you.
is it for you to hang out with the community? Let's say because people would know you. Oh, here is Thales from
Mhm.
Taekwondo. Did it happen to you that they stop you on the street or you listen
Oh
they are
yeah,
talking about you? Yeah, how
yeah.
is it?
I like it. I think it's like I think it's part of the job. Like we are in the internet, people are watching us. Like principally like from the last Friday. Last
Yeah.
Friday I had my biggest audience of my life. We have a peak of 2,300, 2,300 people.
Jesus, that's a lot.
That was a peak. Yeah, was the peak. Because I mean, the subject was not that good,
Yeah.
but like a lot of people was watching, and I received a lot of like compliments about
Mm.
like because it was more professional. You let the guests talk. Yeah, like you don't judge. Yeah,
Hmm. And do you want to tell to the audience what was the topic? But I mean, I know the
yeah.
topic, but people will be interested
Yeah,
now.
yeah. There was a Brazilian girl, the 23 years age. I think around 4 or 3 months ago, she like came saying that she had just 30 days to have a transplant of. I don't know how to speak in English this word, but she was pretending that she has a cancer,
Yes.
and then And on when last Thursday, when another Brazilian girl came up with some proofs that she was faking that cancer. Yeah, and on Saturday, I brought her to my podcast on Friday. We talked for 2 hours, and it was on Saturday morning. That girl was confessing that fakeness, you know. And now she ran away to Brazil. She's in Brazil now, like. But like
It's even
yeah,
hard to make a comment, how people
mhm.
can be this nasty.
Yeah, like with yeah, like she moved to like the whole Brazilian community like, to help her. A lot of people like raise funds funds to her, but like thankfully we discovered the fake, and now like I think the justice of God will make their job now.
For sure, for sure, and it will be well deserved. Like I don't
Hmm.
wish bad for people, but
Yeah, yeah,
she must face something in the future. I
hmm
don't know what it's
yeah.
gonna be, but like you don't do those things. That's like
Mhm.
I love comedy and I make fun about everything
But that this kind
except
of thing,
except maybe one or two things, and this is one of them.
I lost my an aunt 2 weeks ago for the cancer.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, so no, don't worry. Like she was like in veget. How can I say when people sound
Like
that
vegetative.
vegetable? Yeah,
Yeah.
vegetative. Sorry, yeah, it was
Yes.
kind of in the vegetative. She was in a in the biggest in a high level of Alzheimer, so she doesn't remember. She didn't remember like not even my dad, you know. But she kind of the last thing she had was a cancer, a big tumor in her belly, and then she passed away. But she was my fourth aunt that died by cancer,
Mm,
But
yeah.
and when you see something like this, like a people like playing with that serious thing, like I don't have no words to say like about it. Like just feel sorry for the people that are facing the sickness,
Yeah.
and we have to respect that.
So, because I remember seeing this girl in a Flip podcast,
Yeah,
in Boulder.
she went to Philip podcast and the other one, Irlanda Talk Show. But like at this stage, I was feeling like I'm not gonna call her to my podcast. When you
What
feel,
stopped you from calling her?
pardon,
What stopped you from calling her? Why you didn't call her?
feeling,
Feeling.
feeling. I was feeling like like when God speaks to you,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel in your heart, like I'm not gonna do this. I just want to watch because I don't invite like guests that are on a hype. Like if they both, I have a kind of a strategy. I don't know if it's wrong or not, but like when they call them, when the other podcasts call a person like 1 week in another week, I don't call. I don't invite. Just something for me. But then I was like suspecting. Since the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, I was suspecting, and I have contact with people from from the embassy, from the government here, and another ONG that helps people with cancer. And they, from some stage, they stopped helping her, and they told me like the reason, and I was almost 100% sure that was a fake. And then
Mm.
that girl came on Tuesday like with more proofs. And so I felt like, oh, I was sure that I shouldn't call her to my program.
Yeah. So when did she say that she was sick? Like first, when did the whole thing start? You
I
remember more
think
or less?
I think it was in May. I'm not sure,
I
but it
think she
was
said she had like 45 days or something to get the
yeah,
transplant.
yeah,
No?
yeah. She started
And
to say like
it's already August, so
yeah, and then from nothing, like she was saying like, oh, I have 30 days to find a donor, and
mm,
then lasting like 1 or 2 days, fine, she found in the middle of the street in Limerick, and nobody knows the donor. And then yeah, the girls, the Gabriella, which is the name of the girl that found the proof that she was a fake. She suspected of her attitude. She
mm,
saw some pictures of her going to a shop to buy creatine and whey protein. And then 2 days later, she was in Dices dancing with friends. Like, how a person that just had cancer went to Dices to
Yeah,
with friends, you know?
yeah,
But then, yeah,
it doesn't add up. Yeah, just for people to know that Dices is a big
a
bar here
nightclub,
in,
yeah, a
well, a
nightclub here,
nightclub.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's full of Brazilians. That is it was back in the days. I'm from those days when there was a €2 pint on,
You
was it
still,
Tuesday?
you
Still,
still on Sundays, still
now it's
Europine, yeah,
Sundays.
yeah.
Okay, I have to go there. How was talk about positive things? How was that Brazilian gathering in Temple Bar? Were you there?
No, no, I wasn't.
And what was it about? Was it promoting people who are doing things or?
Oh, the Brazilian gathering. Yeah, sorry, I was there too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of the Brazilian chamber,
Mm,
commercial chamber, which is a group all the Brazilian entrepreneurs here. Like we have a lot of Brazilian entrepreneurs in Ireland, like people from retail, from beauty, a lot of them, and they kind of make a fair, like to a group, all of them make kind of a network, I think the embassy that organized that. So yeah, it's kind of a community that still just grow. You
mm,
know, even here or in the countryside of Ireland. Yeah, our community is big, and
yeah.
they yeah.
I wanted to go, but I think it was not this Sunday, the Sunday before, no?
No, yeah, it was
Something
two
like that.
Sundays ago. Yeah.
2 Sundays ago, I think it was like before my parents arriving or
Hmm.
something. Because I wanted to go. I don't know if there were many Portuguese there, but I go anyway.
Yeah,
I
I
really like
didn't
to
see
talk
any
to
part.
Brazilian people because I have for me it's like I'm speaking Portuguese, but I'm not speaking to Portuguese people. It's not that I don't want to speak with Portuguese, but it's like it's like
You're
hybrid,
always you're
you know.
always welcome to the Brazilian community. You're always welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I usually don't have problems, you know. And I actually I
yeah.
have another podcast with some Brazilian fellows, which just started a few months ago. So they're all Brazilians except me, and I love it. You know, I feel like it's like I usually compare like it's like being a British man in the US. You know, it's
Hmm.
like the same language, but not exactly the same people.
Hmm.
So there is something in common, but there's something there isn't. So it's good. It's good because you know
Hmm.
if people from the same country. It's sometimes it's always the same. I know Brazil is a big country, so you are very diverse, like
Yeah,
people
and
from
we are always
Salvador, São Paulo. But
yeah.
Portugal is a small country, so you are all more or less the same. But
Hmm.
if I go to Brazilians, I feel like I can speak in my own language, but I'm not speaking to my people. So it's something that like not many people can experience. You know, like in
Yeah.
the road. Let's say if you are from Romania, you cannot do that. If you are from Germany, you cannot do that,
Hmm.
and we can, which is great.
Yeah. And we are so friendly. Like we always welcoming people from outside. You know,
Mm,
even though
mm,
if you don't speak Portuguese, but we're trying to help. I remember when I was not speaking English, like when I was a teenager, and I was like walking to Copacabana and I saw some gringos. I try to help them. Like I try to help them get to the subway to buy food. You know, even
yeah.
though if I don't speak English, like I think we're born like this. Like
I'm I'm sure those gringos were girls, huh? Yeah,
no,
I'm
no,
sure some of them.
no,
No,
even
no.
that was never. Well, sometimes was girl, yeah,
Sometimes with
sometimes
girls.
was girl,
Let's be
yeah,
honest. We all did that. I mean, I did that
yeah,
myself in Portugal. You know,
yeah.
let's be honest. By the way, I'm going to Brazil in September. I haven't
Oh,
told you that.
nice. Enjoy yourself there. Like I'm envy you.
Yes.
I'm envy you.
So we go for 2 weeks. We go first to Floripa or
Hmm.
Florianopolis. Have you been there?
Yes, my
Yeah.
family, my family from my dad is from Criciúma, is a countryside of Santa Catarina, and
Mm.
Florianópolis is the capital of Santa Catarina. So
So how is it for Floripa? Is it
I love it.
interesting?
It's love. It's kind of the Europe of Brazil. You know, the south side of Brazil is kind of the Europe of Brazil. Like there is a lot of
Mm.
European community there, like Polish, German, what else? Italians. You know,
Mhm.
the biggest community outside Europe is in Brazil.
Yeah, yeah. So, and what about the weather? Because it's September, and my girlfriend is a bit concerned. She thinks it might be cold, and she wants to enjoy, tropical
It's
weather.
always hot. It's always warm.
Yeah,
Even
like
yeah,
15, 20.
yeah, around it. One more 25.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll be fine.
No,
Okay, so that's the
yeah,
first stop, and it's very safe, no?
yeah, it
There,
is. Mm-hmm.
so I can take my mobile out of my pocket and all these things. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's safer than Dublin city center.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Like
it's not
I
that,
bought,
not that
yeah,
difficult.
yeah. I was talking to the thing that like here. I bought a house here in Dublin, and 2 weeks ago was a holiday here, bank holiday, and a day before, three guys was walking around here my street and watching the cars, trying to open the cars, watching the backyards of my neighbors. I never had this in the Rio. And Rio is a violent city. I
Yeah.
never had it in Rio because people were, see, in some neighbors, even though the thieves, they respect the
Yes.
house. But
Yeah.
like
That's.
there, of course, like we cannot, you don't like walk like silly. But
Mm,
you have to pay attention in some places. But like the majority of the places are safe and it's
mm,
good, like to be your family, to be with
that's
your
good. So
partner and stuff.
I just understood you bought a house here in Dublin.
Yeah, yeah, with my
Oh,
partner. Yeah,
well done. Where is it?
in Lucan, in Lucan.
And look, you are looking. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Cool.
moved in February. Yeah,
Yeah. How do you feel now that you have a place here?
relieved.
Because it changed a lot, no?
Yeah, it's released because I don't need to pay rent now, and also like the increase of the price of the house here, like the price of I pay for mortgage is quite the same of the rent,
Yeah. Exactly.
quite a 15 euros more. I used to pay like yeah, so 50 cent more, 50 cents. I mean 50
€50.
euros more.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's nothing. What is €50 these days? Yeah.
Yeah, it's my own house.
Well done. I bought an apartment myself in end of April. So yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
congratulations.
But I'm on the south. I bought it in Bray. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah,
Close to the
it's
beach.
nice. Close to the beach. Yeah, maybe
Oh,
10, 15 minutes walking. So next time you come
mm,
to Bray, just let
now
me
we are
know.
talking. Now
Yeah,
we are talking.
yeah, we'll go to the seaside. Yeah. But let's go back to Brazil. So my
Mhm.
first stop is Floripa, and then we go to Pantanal.
Oh, I never been to the Pantanal.
Yeah, so we go to what's another place?
É
We fly to
bonito?
Campo. No, we go a bit further. I think north to Campo Grande,
Sim.
and then we'll
Yeah.
be
Oh,
on a
sorry.
tour. We go on a tour, and just to see like the wild animals, the nature,
You're gonna love it.
hiking. Yeah,
There's a lot of diversity of animals and nature, so you're gonna love it. Like to be in the middle of the forest.
yeah.
Yeah, color and being with the native, like eating
Mhm.
their food. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be like one of the best experiences you're gonna have in your life. I can assure you.
Yeah. We are very much looking forward, and I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not going to ask about the weather. I'm sure it's going to be very hot in Pantanal, like
Yeah, it is. It
30
is.
degrees. That's
Mhm.
out of the question. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then last stop is Salvador.
Ooh,
I know
party.
it's not that
Yeah.
safe as
It's very cultural. Yeah, I saw Bahia is kind of the Rio of the Northeast, we say
mhm.
here. So
Everything is a Rio. There's a Rio of the
yeah,
south, Rio of the north.
yeah. But like Salvador is amazing. I've been there twice. I don't remember but I did enjoy like the city because I was a dancer, remember? And I
Mhm.
traveled I went to Bahia just for the performance and then went back to the hotel, airplane, and back to Rio. So I didn't
Mhm.
spend much time really in Bahia, but I mean in Salvador. But I went to other place in Bahia called Porto Seguro,
Mhm.
which is like I think it's better than Salvador because it's a little bit far from the capital, and people
Yeah,
go there more for holidays or vacations.
yeah.
If you can
So
go to Porto Seguro and go to Arraial da Ajuda, you're
mm,
gonna love it. Like put it on your list if you like, if you can.
yeah, the thing is, we go to Salvador because one of my best friends is from there, and he
Mhm.
lives there. So it will be
Don't
up to
worry.
him too. Yeah. So
So you don't worry, you're gonna enjoy it for sure. Because if you have a person from there to take you to the places, you're gonna be like safer.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a bit crazy, but I know, like most
No.
people. It's
They
fine.
love parties. They love parties. There's a
Yeah.
lot
I
of
know,
holidays there.
I know. I was friends with him. Like we met maybe 15 years ago, in our 20s. So I
Mhm.
remember partying with him. I met him when I lived in Barcelona. So we were.
Ooh.
I was in my 20s. He's a bit older than me, so back in the days he was in his 30s, but we were going out and going to nightclubs and drinking and dancing. So maybe it will be a bit more quiet now, but we'll try to get back to
It's
some of
never
it.
quiet.
No.
It's never quiet. Never
Yeah.
quiet. I have
So
a
I look
friend.
forward.
I have a friend here from Salvador.
Mm.
He's always posting on Instagram like, "Oh, I miss this, I miss that." Like almost every day they are partying.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are settled now in Ireland. You bought a place here. Yeah. So
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
also you
We
planning to stay?
no,
No.
no. Like, I'm changing my visa now. I was holding the stamp one work
Mhm.
visa, and now I'm getting my stamp four.
Mhm.
And from the next month, I will apply for my citizenship. So
Mm.
my plan is after the citizenship release, I will maybe spend more time outside Ireland, like in a warmer place, maybe Portugal, maybe Spain,
Mm.
because I've been here for 7 years already, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, like we bought this house also to live, but also thinking about an investment, because the
Yeah.
rent here are getting bigger, bigger and bigger. But like I don't know, I haven't traveled like a lot as I wanted, as I wish. So my therapist always asks like, which place you wanna see yourself like living forever? Like I don't know that place yet,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
But yeah, like until I found this place, I'll be in Ireland for sure.
Mm. Mm.
But like
So
I miss the lifestyle of Rio, like to go to the beach, to surf every morning, skating. Also now I'm doing jiu-jitsu, and I like so a lot of places like we have jiu-jitsu in the world, so
yeah.
kind of I want to have this kind of like a mix of lifestyle, like be more in an open area. Like I love to be in open area. I'm not an indoor person,
Yeah.
and here in Ireland most of the time in a year you just have pubs and restaurants to enjoy. It's
Yeah.
different from Portugal. I was in December in Portugal, but I was like in Lisbon, and eating in a restaurant. And I have a dinner with my girlfriend, like in an open area in December. There
Yes.
was
Yes.
like a cool wind. Like with my dog besides me.
Yeah.
This
The
kind
only
of life
time
is.
I did that in December was during COVID because there was no other option. I was even
Yeah.
telling my parents we were in Cork, a few days ago, and I was living
Mhm.
in Cork during COVID, and there was this time that you could only go for a beer outdoors, and I was desperate to have my pint of Guinness. I was drinking and shaking, in December, right
I
before
know.
Christmas. There were like four people, trying to drink, trying to enjoy, but there was no other way.
I know. It's not for me.
Not for you, yeah. But you do a lot of different things. Now you do martial arts now,
Hmm.
the podcasts, you did theater, and all
I
these
don't need to. I
arts.
don't do theater anymore. I did
Yeah,
when, yeah, I
yeah.
think. But nowadays, I just like I have my podcast, my work as a software engineer, BJJ. Also, I'm gonna compete in September now. So yeah, BJJ was a thing that
What is BJJ?
Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's something. It's kind of a dream that came true because I always wanted to do Jiu Jitsu, but I didn't like
Mm.
pay attention to that. Like since I was here. Now I had the opportunity to start, and then I'm a third degree of white belt. Probably by the end of the year, I'm gonna be a blue belt. So it's kind of I say that jiu-jitsu is a endless stairs. You're
Mm.
always learning and growing. But never ends. Like
Mm.
you can do. It's something that you can do for the whole life.
Mm. But it's a lot of things, and they're all different. The martial arts, podcast, software engineering. How do you combine all that? Because like myself, sometimes I struggle.
I don't combine. I'm kind of a person that if I found something nice and I
Mm.
feel that I can do it, I just try and do it. I try to do it, but
Mm.
like I don't take it as a profession. Like for
Yeah.
example, I used to be a photographer because I like photos. I like photos, so I bought a camera. I started photographing. I make some money. I lived as a photographer for a while, but then I just decided no, I will go back to programming. I'll be a developer, but and photograph for hobby.
Mm.
But like, it's not a skill that I knew. But now, if you call me nowadays, like to photograph a wedding, any kind of event, I can do it. I like to learn new skills. My dad told me like you have to hustle. You have to make money in different areas.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So.
I think that's very good, especially
Mhm.
especially coming from previous generations, because they tend to be more conservative. Like, have that job, get your money, rest,
Mhm.
and go back.
Yeah.
Your dad was very progressive, no?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah,
very progressive. Yeah.
yeah. He is. He's retired from Navy. He's
Mhm.
retired as a first sergeant of the Brazilian Navy. But he has his wood shop.
Mm.
Which is he's working till nowadays. With her wife, his wife. I mean.
Mm.
And yeah, I grow my brothers grown with my dad in his shop, like learning how to build furniture, painting our walls, build a wall with bricks,
Mhm.
and helping him like serving some clients, so hustling.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
learn
man,
it
good.
with our dad, so that's why I don't know if you see on my Instagram, but I painted the walls of my house. I
With
installed, yeah, I installed.
what covers the flamenco covers?
No, no. I put there's two walls. There's two walls I paint as black and another one is green. But like all the technique I learned from YouTube, and I just try it. People say like,
Mm.
"Oh, I don't know how to do this," but they don't even try how to do it.
Yeah.
For example, I put the whole flooring of my house. I
Mm.
did myself. I never did it before, but I just try it. I saw some videos on YouTube. I I saw like just like you have to attach one piece in another,
Yes.
and then that's what's up. Like is here, is everything good? My
And you can
wife
save a
loves
few
it.
quid with that,
Yeah,
You don't have to pay
and I
anyone.
saved 4,000 euros
Yeah, well
with
done,
that.
well done. Yeah, yeah. But I'm also thinking in terms of time management. How do you combine all these things? Because it's sometimes it's difficult to have the energy levels to
Mhm.
be busy with everything and still be available. Like in
Yeah.
terms of time management, how do you
I
do
try
all
to
that?
yeah, I try to organize my life like for example, I have my work from 9 to 6 or 9 to 5:30. And Tuesday and Thursday I have the podcast at night. For generating the weekend I'm free, so I do the housework during the weekend. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's it too. Because
And
like
you,
Ireland, for example, Ireland. You
hmm,
remember I told you like we do more indoor stuff, go to the
yes,
pubs or go to. I don't do this. So I say so I don't go much to the restaurants or pubs here. So I spend more time
hmm,
at home and doing my
hmm.
stuff. So that's why I have some time to do my own thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's a priorities. You just focus
Yeah,
on things that
priorities. Yeah.
that matter the
Like for
most.
example, I used to travel. I travel every month. But this year I couldn't travel because I'm buying the furnitures to my house. So like the priority this year is to to organize my life. Like I still don't have a living room. The sofa is still coming out. I don't have a
Hmm.
TV yet. But like we have to be patient. So but by the end of the year, everything will be done. And from the next year, I'll be traveling again. So it's kind
Yeah,
of you
yeah.
have a patience and in priorities.
Sure. No, it's a process. Like this year,
Yes.
I only been to Portugal so far, and I'm
Hmm.
going to Brazil, but that's the only trip. Maybe I think we go to Switzerland for a weekend, but
Oh,
that's not
amazing.
really like a
Hmm.
big trip. So yeah, we need to focus on things that matter. How do you manage to watch your flamenco? Because it's all the games
I
are
don't
always
watch it. I don't. I'm not. I haven't been following football for so long.
oh
Because the difference of the time zone is like
yeah.
4 hours, and I can't go more anymore to the pubs like
Hmm.
1 hour to watch a match with friends. Like, so I rather stay at home. Sometimes watching at home, but I have to wake up early to work. So
So you missed the Copa America. Sorry
yes, it is. I didn't see like the Brilliant
Yeah.
team.
What happened to the Brazilian team? Because I mean, you guys were I
Ah,
mean, you are the best team in the world. Like you have
yeah.
more titles than anyone else. It's like the
Hmm.
team number one. It's like in Europe, Real Madrid, like it or not, is team number one. But now it's just going down. What happened?
I think those players like they lost their proudness. I don't know if the words exist. If you
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, because
yeah,
yeah, Ryder, you know more words than me. But like I think they don't grow up with that proudness, like to be a Brazilian, to defend
yes,
our flag, you know.
mm,
And at this stage, like from of Ronaldo and Romario, like they used to play more in Brazil than in Europe. But
yeah,
nowadays, like the players at the age of 16, 17 years old, they go to Europe to play
yeah,
there. So they don't grow like with that feeling, like to defend and to be proud of to be Brazilian and the importance of the yellow shirts,
yes, yes, yeah.
you
So you
know.
think there's some sort of identity crisis
Yeah,
in
yes,
Brazil? Is it
for
only
sure.
football or in general?
In general, I think.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And why do you think is that?
I I don't know. Like I think the political stuff make political stuff.
Yeah,
Too many corruption. Like we see like a lot of people like immigrating. To other countries. In growing in other countries, and we kind of step by step we are kind of losing the thing. I see a lot of people like wanted to leave Brazil because of economical crisis, or it's hard to to feed their families. But then
yeah,
we can, yeah, are also looking for opportunities for work or to help their families, which is kind of pretty hard in Brazil in some places.
yeah. Well, what I heard from Brazil is that you can work a lot, but your salary will never be enough because
Yeah.
all you do is working.
Mhm.
That's not the image that foreigners have. The whole thing of Brazil is just beach and football and
Mhm.
and sun,
Mhm.
but it's not like that.
But the daily life is pretty hard. Brazil
Mm,
is Brazil is different when we go for vacation, but like if you live there daily, it's
mm.
different work kind of words.
You think you guys work more in Brazil than people work here in Ireland, for instance?
For sure, 100%. So that's why when we came to Ireland or any other country in Europe, like, and we work a lot, we feel like, oh, the other people, the European doesn't work like this, they are lazy. But it's not, because we grow like with that mentality, like we have to work, work, work. We have to always be the best, we have to do better. Because
Mm,
people are watching. Like it was strange, like to hear when I joined the company I working, like when it was like at the time of 5 p.m. or 5:30, people like closing their MacBooks and going home to join their families. Like it's strange, because in normal in Brazil is to do extra time. The
yes,
more you work, the more value you have, which is like it's wrong.
yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Portugal is very similar. Like it's
Hmm.
if you leave on time, it can be an issue. You need to stay at least, I don't know, 10 minutes, no, I say 20, 30, if not an hour. Because people will think that you are not doing, you are just pretending. You are just there for the money. So you need to stay. But it doesn't make sense, because if you are efficient, why would you stay after the end of your shift? I think it's all about managing the workload.
Hmm.
For me, it tells if you leave on time that you have your work done. If you
Yeah.
are staying all the time, it should be an issue, but it looks bad. I think it's kind of an old-fashioned mentality.
Hmm.
So, very,
Yeah.
very, very different. And I would also say that maybe you guys have that because you're also close to the States in a sense of this mentality.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, I can't 100% sure about it. Yeah, but maybe.
Hmm. So, you are now in Lucan, so I hope we can meet. We are not that near, but it will be possible. Any new thing for the Talkando that you want to announce here to the audience? Anything in the
uh
pipeline?
no, yeah, we are still on to every Tuesday and Thursday with every episode is different. But now, like, we try and produce other podcasts. We have a partner now, which is You Engineer. It's a podcast only for engineers.
Hmm?
Yeah. But now we're receiving some proposals, like to produce your other podcasts, like about sports, about one podcast only for women, You know,
Mhm.
we kind of like growing our umbrella, and have like some other podcasts under our umbrella, So yeah, new things are coming.
That's good. And I think I don't remember if it was you or Felipe who said there is a Brazilian podcast about Irish football.
I don't know.
Was
It is? Is it? I
no,
don't
maybe it was
know.
Felipe who mentioned that to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, because I'll be interested on that one because on the women I cannot go unless I identify as a woman because you never
Yeah.
know these days.
Yeah. Probably gonna be one about sports,
Okay, so that's a
and
that's
another
new.
one, maybe another one or inside this sports about BJJ,
Mm,
because BJJs are different words and that just grow. It's been growing like from the last 20 years. A lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools are coming up. So yeah, new things are coming. I can say.
cool. So look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in the description. I'm sure I have a lot of people watching me from Brazil, and I have Brazilian friends all over the world who watch this podcast.
But
And they're not only in Ireland, they're like in Italy, Spain, US or England, so they might be
amazing.
interested in watching your stuff. I think, as I said in the beginning and throughout this show, I think you do a very good job. I think your
Thank
energy
you
is
very much,
contagious,
Victor.
so keep it that way. And yeah, good luck with the Lucan,
Thank you very
with
much.
your new ventures, and hope we can catch up in
Of course,
Lucan in
yeah.
Dubai, Dublin, or wherever.
Yeah, let's make a hey, let's drink some pints anyway any day here.
Sure. Yeah.
Will be a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thanks for this, and
Thank you very
talk
much for
soon.
inviting me, Vito.
Okay. No
Anytime if
problem.
you want me here, I'll be here. Please invite me. I'll be here. It's a
Sure.
pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah, likewise. Okay, take care. Bye. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye bye, Vito.